We have just begun the main event on the men's side. The DMR Distance Medley Relay. Drew Felios, joined by Matt Schumacher. And what a women's DMR we just had. Remember, 1,200, 400, 800, and then the mile.
And I got to give a big old shout out again to that Troy relay team of Gemma Finch, Madison Kennedy, Tierra Bailey, and how about the freshman Tanner Guest asked to anchor a championship DMR, and she does so without a hitch.
So UT Arlington setting the pace here, 1,200 meters at the start. Grayson Birka will lead it off for the Mavericks. Talked about him just getting back into form, about after losing his father, and Grayson been an inspiration to his teammates. Fitting to see him lead off here this distance medley relay. For Louisiana Lafayette, right now running in second place, Stanley Lemo, the senior. Third place shared by Texas State. Cade Michael is in that spot wearing that number 3. And number 2 right now in fourth place, Louisiana Monroe's Brandon McDonald. UT Arlington talked about how they had to perform well in all the races. I think they have done that. Mission accomplished here today. The big picture, a triple crown. And Coach Sauerhaig talked about being sharp, be ready to run, execute, no DQs, compete from start to finish. The field events as well. Don't wait until that third attempt to get over the bar. Little things they want to do well. You've got a good opportunity here to rack up some points.
And the great Brad Stevens, I'm switching sports on you a little bit here.
Okay.
He said, when you think about what all the little things mean, you realize there is no such thing as little details. And UTA does a really good job of minding the details. And what a run from Birka.
Birka hands off now to Garrett Moore, the senior. So this is the most exciting, only 400 meters this second leg. So blink, and it's over. Texas State getting a good effort here by Ian Carter, the freshman.
This is a nice little battle right here between two guys who are getting their shot to compete in a championship event on one of the relays.
Garrett Moore now coming around this final turn as Connor Butterfield gets ready and set for the Mavericks. And fading a little bit is Ian Carter. Experience coming through for UT Arlington as Butterfield now is in stride. Connor Butterfield had such a great freshman year for UT Arlington. He's a guy that Coach Sauerhaig just kind of asked himself, where did this guy come from? One of those guys that you recruit, you don't expect him to be great, Matt, and he's just continuing to put up great times and do great things and sort of just prove you wrong time and again.
It's a great thing about this sport. Consistency and effort over talent can sometimes be the determining factor in one's success at the end of their 4 years. And Butterfield, only 2 years in to his college career, boy, he's got a bright future ahead of him. But right now, he's running a championship effort for UTA.
Behind him is Kyle Denami, the senior for Texas State. And the distance, that gap continues to grow. ULM has Eric Hawkins, who was starting to get on the tail of Denami for that second place spot.
Butterfield bell lap coming up after this one. He's got a nice lead right now on Texas State. Here comes the rest of the field, though, getting into medal contention. There is a big-time race for second, third, and fourth right now.
Final pass here coming up as Jared Lautenslager, the sophomore, gets in position for the Mavericks. So Butterfield does his job big time. And now the Mavericks with 1 mile to go.
We got a race for first here, partner.
Louisiana Lafayette, Jonathan Kumutai, the junior, is the guy who's making up the ground. And boy, did that gap close ever quickly.
And I'll tell you who did that for them. UL Lafayette's Key Alfred, the freshman, on the 800, brought him back to contact. Now he's been able to race his way back to a position where he can kick and potentially win a championship. A lot of running left to do, though, partner. 6 laps remain of this DMR.
Pedro Osorio Lopez running in third right now for Texas State.
And this is similar to what we saw in the women's DMR, not necessarily in the first place position because of how well Troy positioned itself, but you really realize just how little the 400 gap actually matters. Then you come back into the 8. In the mile is where this race is really won. And we saw that with the young freshman at Troy, holding off the seniors. Now the question is, can UTA's Jared Lautenslager hold off UL Lafayette?
When you say bring him back to contact, explain that a little bit more thoroughly for our viewers and for me as well.
Sure. Well, when the field begins to spread out a little bit, you start to have a single file line.
Sure.
Contact means you're running within a stride, 2, maybe 3 strides of the next person in front of you. When a gap gets more than 3 strides, you're not in contact, so to speak. You don't feel like, okay, I'm right up on this guy and he's pacing me. You feel like you're in no man's land. Right now, the guy in third place on your screen is not in contact with anyone. The field is behind him. The field is in front. He doesn't have anybody who he can gauge his pace off of.
See the coaches for Louisiana Lafayette cheering on their final leg, and Jonathan Kumutai. Lautenslager trying to keep the Mavericks in front. They have led for pretty much this entire race, coming up now on just 2 laps to go.
Jonathan Kumutai is a closer. You can see it in his stride right now. He's making his move with 2 laps to go. 400 left. Kumutai has the longer stride. Lautenslager's got his work cut out for him. But he's doing a nice job of staying on the hip of Kumutai. And now Texas State starting to get back into the mix here.
Yeah, they certainly are. Pedro Osorio Lopez, the freshman. How about the freshman coming up big in these final legs on the women's and the men's side?
I'll tell you what, partner, Lopez has decided he wants a little taste of the crown.
1 lap to go here in the main event on day 1, and we have got a new leader.
Lopez, Lautenslager. What a tasty finish here on day 1.
How quickly the momentum can change in the DMR. Lautenslager, can he challenge here down to the final meters? Mavericks trying to claim the DMR here in Birmingham.
Lautenslager is pumped up, baby. What a run by UTA. That is a championship effort. He gets past by not one, but two. And guess what? He says the door's not closed on me. No, sir. I'm back in this thing, and I'm getting a gold medal.
He is screaming towards the finish line. Lopez, the freshman, knew he was coming. Nothing he could do as UT Arlington talked about running big today. Oh, did they ever. The Mavericks finished day one with a bang. Final thoughts, Matt, from this Sun Belt Indoor Championship.
Well, UTA going for a three-peat. Boy, oh boy, partner, this team is primed and ready for Championship Tuesday.
One more day to go. Tomorrow we will see you.